Adrian Juste.
With the show that's good for a giggle.
All right, that's it.
Hang on. Who are these people?
I tried to hold them back, but they burst through by putting money in my hand.
Spoken like a true commissioner.
Exactly, but who are they? We, sir, are the Executive Committee of the Light Entertainment Union, No Laugh. And owing to a dispute with management, we are into an ongoing picket situation. All right, brothers. Now, there'll be no laughs coming through here today. No Irish, no mother-in-laws, no Dolly Parton. Hey! What's the matter, Charlie?
There's a bloke down here got a script for the Les Dawson show.
No, I'm sorry. Turn him away.
And one for the Bob Monkhouse show.
No funny material past these gates.
He's also got a script for punchlines.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Oi! Take it in, I've told you. Now then, brothers.
Music. Radio 1.
This dispute is now over.
Why? Have the management capitulated?
No. I've lost the pee at me flipping whistle. Just as well, really. I didn't fancy sitting here doing nothing for an hour. People think I work for British Rail. Oh, that Mike Smith's a difficult bloke to follow, isn't he? He's so smooth and suave. Makes me sound like a gibbering idiot. I can hear you. Let's, Forrest, rock the boat. I wouldn't advise it. Some of the passengers are getting a bit queasy.
Why does this thing rock so much?
I don't know.
I'm getting scared, John. I gotta have some water, quick.
What's the matter with you?
I'm getting squeamish again. Oh, John, I need air.
She needs water. She needs air. You want me to check your oil, too?
You know, I'm promenading along the promenade deck, just commuting with nature, when a beautiful gal walked up to me and she says, "Could you tell me where the captain is, sir?" I said, "Why, the captain is forward, miss." She says, "I don't care. This is a pleasure trip."
They've been invited to dine at the captain's table, and they're going in to dine, and she's shouting, "All the money we paid, and we've got to eat with the crew." Now, you don't go to the captain of the QE2 and say, "What do you think of the old boat, Skip?" He said, "Old boat? This is the finest liner on the seas. This crew are hand-picked." He said, "You see that man mopping the deck? I trust him with my life." And just then a wave came and washed this fella overboard. My granddad said, "You know that fella you trust with your life? He's cleared off with your mop and bucket."
This bloke was shouting, "Drop me a line! Drop me a line!" The captain said, "Sure, where do you live?" Here's Eric Clapton going overboard in a big way.
You say you do when you don't. You say you will when you won't. Like a man on fire, man on fire, man overboard, man overboard. Like a man on fire, man on fire, man overboard, man overboard.
Off the album Money and Cigarettes. And these days you can't have both. That's Eric Clapton, Man Overboard!
Jim, lad. Hoist the skull and crossbones and stand by to repel boarders. How do you repel boarders? Stop changing the bed linen. Everyone a little Jim. Now then, Jack boy, where be that turkey we've been fattening up since Christmas?
It's broke loose, Captain. Got into the treasure chest and it's eaten all the booty.
You mean?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Really beautiful.
That'll learn him. Hey, Culpepper! Trapper!
Hey, Captain?
Them do be a fancy pair of earrings you must sportin'. Where'd you get 'em?
I bought them, Captain. Bought them off a sailor from the New World. For $2.
Not bad for a buccaneer.
Blimey. Next, please.
Cause I don't have a word.
Elvis wouldn't hot because today's the anniversary of him coming out the US Army after 2 years' service for Uncle Sam. And all the girls went, ah, and collapsed in a dead faint on the floor. Mind you, it wouldn't have happened in the British Army, you know. Back in the 60s, we used to run a damn tight ship.
Well, chaps, I, as your battalion commander, would just like to say a few words to you all before you sort of beetle off on your weekend parties. As you may have gathered, chaps, we've all been jolly well tested. The War Office has decided to send us overseas, and in view of your courageous exploits and conquests of the past, they decided to send us to Paris. I should like to mention that when you get over there, you will be serving under a new commanding officer. You may in the past have met him. Well, when I say met him, you may have fought against him during the last war. He is, of course, General Rudy von Pendergast. And try to remember, he is on our side now. Now, I don't care what Montgomery said about him in 1945, Bombardier. Finally, chaps, I'd like to say to you all best of luck. Whilst I know that you will all have difficulty with a foreign language, I'm quite sure that within a few hours of arrival in Paris, you will all, each and every one of you, have picked up a little bit of French.
I wasn't out in the old froggy land for 4 years for nothing in the army, you know. I picked up a lot of things out there you don't know about.
I don't doubt it. Yeah. As long as you didn't bring none of them back home with you, that's all that matters.
All right, you lot, start singing.
What a production. Kissing the Pink, the last film I ever saw. And today we're lucky enough to have in the studio Hollywood's latest star, Jose Jimenez. How are you feeling?
Wealthy, thank you.
I'm sure. Now, what's the name of your latest picture?
The name of my picture is Cleopatra.
Cleopatra? Well, that cost $40 million to make years ago.
That's nothing. I was cost $100,000.
Well, that's not so much.
For a ticket?
You're putting me on. How much did it cost, really?
Including lunches?
Why should lunches make any difference?
Do you know what it costs to smuggle corned beef into Egypt?
I see. Now, it's a picture that goes on for ages. How long have you been working on it?
Well, quite a while, because we had a delay one time. We had to lay off on account of the noise.
What noise?
World War II.
Now, let's talk about your co-star's salary. They tell me she gets $8,000 a day.
Isn't that something? $8,000 a day?
Yeah, well, it's okay, I suppose, but do you think she's really happy?
Boy, is she happy. You never heard such giggling in your life. It comes from that girl on payday, and you can hear it all the way across the street.
Say what you like, but money doesn't buy you happiness.
No, but for $8,000 a day, you could rent it.
Beach Boys, good vibrations. Talking of good vibes, one of our greatest xylophone players had a birthday yesterday. Patrick Moore. Also famed, of course, for his Sky at Night programme.
Good evening. Will you let me to tell you the something tremendously exciting happening in the Crab Nebula?
And all that. Mind you, he's not the only one gazing skywards. There's other, more sinister forces at work.
Comrade Commissar, after 3 years of applications, interviews, petitioning, why can't I leave the Soviet bloc? Because, comrade, your brain holds a most important scientific secret. We dare not risk it falling into the hands of the filthy capitalist countries.
That's ridiculous. You know very well I've been barred from my laboratory for 10 years. I haven't been allowed to attend the armament meetings. And even when I was working on missiles 10 years ago, the Americans were so far ahead it was ludicrous.
Comrade, that is the secret.
I see the Russians want to put some more men on the moon now. They've got to. Siberia's full. That's Sky's new single, of course, edited from a 20-minute track on the Sky 5 Live album, and it's called Animals.
It's often said, and with justification, that the English love animals. Nothing delights the English heart as much as a little lamb. A few green peas and a quantity of mint sauce.
Oh, dear. Well, perhaps the Americans are a bit more sympathetic.
When I was a little boy, I wanted a dog desperately. And they finally opened up in my neighborhood in Flatbush a damaged pet shop. They sold damaged pets at discount, you know. You could get a bent pussycat if you wanted, a straight camel, you know. I got a dog that stuttered. That's why the cats would give him a hard time, and he would go bow wow.
Two dogs talking, and one said to the other, "Have you done your paws?" The other one said, "No, I just missed the post."
Very true, ladies and gentlemen, all these dog tales. This dog is running the butcher's run out with 7 foot of sausage in his mouth. Butcher run him with a knife. Old man says, "Don't cut it up for him, he'll like it as it is."
Fella stood at the bus stop eating the meat pie in his wellies. There's a woman there with a poodle, and the poodle's jumping up for a bit of the meat pie. He said, "Missus, can I throw your dog a bit?" She said, "Yes." So he threw the dog 100 yards up the road.
It's like the bloke who went into a shop and said, "I want a blind dog for the mother-in-law." The chap says, "Don't you mean a guide dog?" He said, "No, blind dog. If it saw her, it'd go for her throat." On now with Orange Juice.
Well,